Yeah. Got the flight book, it's a library. I'm in that deal. Just took a flight to Bora and foreign cars like foreigners. Berry on her. Up in France, bitch, bonjour. I been come to go so we going Paris tomorrow. Only bags we carry, spin at the mall. We doing singing along. My diamonds be saying, add some more change. That's the same alone. Dripping all the way from home and taking the wrong. Got the flight book, it's a library. We ain't flying solo. Tune in to the show. It's the Passport Bros. No excuse entertainment. Jay Sway on the show. Turn it up some more. It's the Passport Bros.
Yo, what's good? Welcome to the Passport Bros podcast, man. Appreciate all that's tuned in. Hope all is well. Let me start off by saying what's up to the homies in the chat. Man of Tomorrow, what's good, bro? Always good to see you supporting the channel, man. Appreciate it. Shout out to Man of Tomorrow. The homie Tim Howard, definitely, man, hit the like and all the notifications icon button and share the content, man. Share the content. So yeah, I got a special guest in the background. Those may have heard about him, those may have not, but I'm gonna bring him up in a moment and also kind of and I'm gonna share his channel too. So I want to do a conversation about polygamy because this brother is has been in Tanzania. 2 ladies on his arm, man, and just talking about just the lifestyle, man. So I definitely want to get some more info on that, and for you guys to get any questions that you have answered. Tevin King said, happy to see more brothers traveling to the motherland. Yes, sir. Definitely. Ronald Traveler Alex, salute, bro, salute. So, man, without further ado, man, I'm going to bring up Travel Tribe Raw. Let me bring the brother up. What's good, bro?
What's good, man? What's good? It's popping.
Nothing much, man. How you doing?
Great, man. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, yeah, man. It was overdue, man. I was like, I got to get this brother on, man. And, I'm glad, man. So, I recently seen you do a stream with brother Austin Holloman when he was in Tanzania. You know what I mean? So that was a pretty good interview. Shout out to him for for doing that collab, man. But give us an introduction about who you are, where you've been, and where you are right now.
All right, so basically, Travel Tribe Raw here, just out here to bridge the gap, when it comes to Black people in America, Europe, and then the African folks. And, I do a little bit of this little thing they call polygamy on the side, so, that's something as well. Of course, there's some challenges in the whole polygamy realm sometimes, but at the end of the day, we trying to recruit like the best women. So I'm just kind of taking people on my journey. Also giving raw advice when it comes to dating foreign women, because we all tired of these things in these Western countries. So that's what it is, man.
Cool. So I'm just kind of scrolling through some of your videos, man. So he got a lot of videos showing, polygamy lifestyle. And then I seen a recent video you had like she broke up with us, and I know watched some videos you kind of talking about, someone leaving and then you finding another another girlfriend. So we'll get into all of that. But I'm gonna leave his channel link will be in the description. This is what his channel looks like. So I'll make sure you guys check the brother out when you get a moment. So let me put that down. All right, cool, man. So let's get into it, man. So tell us a little bit about your journey to Africa, and I guess what were you looking for or expecting, outside the matrix?
Yeah, so originally when I first came out to the motherland, I was just getting tired of all the shootings and all that. Basically, I'm not gonna lie, that's what really actually motivated me to get out. I was very tired of seeing constant issues on social media, seeing constant issues on just online. Just that was really just overwhelming for me. And I said, because everybody had their stigmas on Africa, and I just said, nothing can be as bad as this. Let me take the chance and go out and see what's up over there. As I traveled to Africa, I realized that it's a beautiful country, it's a beautiful continent with beautiful countries, beautiful women, and very affordable. And then amazing thing is just being around your people. So that's just say the least right there.
Okay. So have you, in the US, have you ever tried to have polygamy or polyamorous relationships when you were in the US?
Yeah, I did actually. I did. Man, this is a crazy story. This is an exclusive,
Okay.
But I had some ladies in America, and I actually tried to add on a third, and that's where everything went downhill. And before, I think I was kind of doing polygamy a little bit selfishly because I was kind of, looking I wasn't really thinking of it in a way for us to build and legacy build. I just looked at it at first as like, these is my ladies, you know what I'm saying? And the more the merrier, you dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So, once I came to Africa, I went to this place, this place called the Bomas. And basically it taught me a lot about our history. And then I started to kind of look at polygamy as a different resource than just like, a way to just get hella chicks and, do the do, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it is.
So was your interest in like polygamy from a religious standpoint or non-religious standpoint?
Nah, non-religious. Non-religious standpoint. Yeah. I ain't trying to get back indoctrinated into this, this whole culture of all these religions and all that. So
Okay. No, that's cool. So just to get an audience perspective, a non-religious polygamy practice. So your research leading up to going to Africa, did you like research different countries where about like polygamy, or did you just kind of just randomly pick, let's say Tanzania, for example?
Yeah, hold on. Let me position this camera, bro. You know what's weird? When I hold it like this, it's perfect. But when I hold it to the side, like it's just horrible, bro. Like it's horrible. So my bad. Ask that question again, bro. I'm like, I was struggling.
No. So when you were like searching on like a country in Africa to visit, were you like looking for like where polygamy is practiced or likely to be practiced, or did you just kind of pick a random country and go from there?
Well, I didn't really look for a country to even do polygamy in really like that. I mean, I first did it in Kenya, and then I realized, I said, you know what? this was smooth. I like this dynamic. I feel like this is a dynamic fit for a king. And, I just decided to, just move around to different countries and do this whole polygamy joint, you know. Because I look at it also as a way like, just having ladies in different countries, they can help you with your business and they could kind of actually look out for your business while you're not there. And I'm not just picking any scallywags, I'm picking like the
Right.
top level, most feminine females that actually believe in legacy building and they actually believe in winning in life. You know what I'm saying? They believe it takes a team. I want women that can work as a team. So, but yeah, I didn't look for a specific country to do polygamy in. It just kind of just went with it.
Gotcha. Jen's, I think it's Jen's Gruel. He said African women are the best. He said sad Tanzanian women can't speak much English there.
Yeah, they can't speak much English. He must have been over there before. Yeah, they
Oh
definitely
man.
can't be. They definitely can't speak that much English, but they are trying. So I'll give it to them, man. It's funny in Kenya. They always be saying like, those Tanzanians. How do you even stay over there? They don't speak no English. Yeah, he got that right, man. He must have been over there before.
Wow. He's Heffron says salute to the panel in chat. Salute, bro. Wow, I didn't know. From Tanzania, the only intel I got is like guys from like one of our WhatsApp Africa groups, and then I've seen Austin talking about Tanzania. But he said it was a sprinkle of people that speak English. I don't know how different it is from Kenya, or let's say Rwanda or Uganda. If you want to touch on who speaks, the percentage of people that speak English in those countries, if you want to touch on that real quick.
Kenya is definitely where it's at. Kenyans speak English to the point where even they be saying certain things that remind you of a black woman back home. They just the way the ladies will talk sometimes. Boy, you crazy. Like sometimes you hear that over here, you be like, what? Where's your accent at? Like they so smooth with it. Yeah. So Kenya definitely is number one. I say that at least 90% of people here is speaking fluent English, at least in the major cities, Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu. Yeah. So those places. Then I'll say Rwanda. I say it's definitely like 80% in Rwanda. Yeah, especially in Kigali. Then Tanzania. Oof. Tanzania, I'm not gonna lie, man. They go down to like 30%, but then again, they are trying their best, and you will run into some people. Like 30% of them, Dar es Salaam will definitely speak English. The issue is when you get to Zanzibar, though. Just FYI, like those chicks over there, they ain't speaking no English really. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been over there a couple times. Yeah, majority of the women don't speak no English. Even the brothers, unfortunately, they don't really speak much English like that either. But I'll say Zanzibar might be like 20%, 15. I'm trying to be nice on this thing, man. 10, 15%, to be honest.
Wow. What about Uganda?
Uganda's pretty good, actually. They actually speak a few languages, which I was very surprised. Ugandans have a very large selective of languages they speak. So I believe one of them was French. No. Was it French? It's at 3 languages that they're super fluent in. Like I was running to a lot of people that knew English. Their language is called Lugandan. And then there was a third, but I can't remember the third one.
Wow. So
yeah.
When I went to obviously South Africa, English was pretty cool. When I went there, it was so refreshing to just speak my natural language because all I've been primarily traveling is like Latin America. So even though there's people in Latin America that could speak English, it was just way different speaking to someone in South Africa. But then when I was in Ethiopia, it was some people that spoke English, but then if they can speak English, they're not fluent, So it was still a slight language barrier in Ethiopia, but you can still manage. You can still manage a bit. So guys are traveling to Tanzania. It's from the passport bro movement. I would say in Africa, I would say Tanzania is the most popular country. Why is that?
Well, I hate to toot my own horn, but in 2020, I don't know many people that was out there, man. I went out there. I came in strong. I
Salute,
showed
bro.
people you can get a yacht out here you can get a yacht, for about $100 an hour. So I don't know. All of a sudden, man, a whole bunch of nah, I'm messing. But Tanzania, I truly believe that it truly is the city of peace. I never really ran into that many issues over there. Lots of amazing Black people. African people over there as well. Let me see. The prices are pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of Black people are doing certain businesses there. I'll let people kind of explore that on their own. Um, and yeah, there's definitely some growth over there. The next thing we need to get onto is um, setting up a respective meeting, maybe with certain officials, to get us some type of policies, like how Ghana has the dual citizenship, things like that for Black people. Definitely some things that we can be working on in Tanzania, but definitely Tanzania is on the up and up, very progressive, um, just a little bit slow with it, but you can still see the movement over there. So I think that's why a lot of Black people are going.
Oh,
Also, their honorable president, unfortunately, he passed away, but the honorable John Magufuli, um, he was he was doing a lot for his country. So, of
mm.
course, certain Black people with that mindset definitely like that revolutionary, you know, mindset.
Gotcha, man. Yeah, shout out to I know a couple of content creators in Tanzania, actually in Africa. Uh, Tony, I don't know if you met Tony. Um, he's recently engaged. He talked about paying a dowry and stuff like that. But let me know if there's any videos that would be good to share right now in regards to your polygamy relationship. So let's talk about the relationship. You meeting, woman number one, and then woman number two, and then one of them left, and then now woman number three. I guess we could call it that. If you can walk us through all that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so woman number one was actually the first woman that was in it, which was Jackie actually, but she's not in it anymore. Um,
Okay.
so me and Jackie, we was cool at first. I told her about the whole polygamous situation, told her how I'm into it, and I told her the benefits of it. A lot of these chicks, I do have to give them some type of credit, even if I'm not with them anymore, because they do actually go outside their comfort zone to be in a polygamous relationship, regardless if you're doing this in America or if you're doing this in Africa or one of these countries. To do something that's considered taboo to the world is like, I do have to give somebody credit for even giving it a thought and even trying to open themselves up for something like that. So shout out to her. I hope everything's going well in her life. But yeah, she's no longer in the picture. Certain things was going on, so she had to go. I made that video. There was a video that I made. I think it's the first one when you go to the page. I was just a bit disappointed that she didn't want to work out some of the issues that we were dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a bit frustrating because we talked a lot off camera. I don't ever really show certain things on camera, and
Right, right.
it was just a bit disappointing. It was the breakup video. Yeah, when I had my hand kind of like that.
This
Yeah,
one.
yeah, that one. So that was a
Okay.
bit frustrating. Then we go to Marmar, you know, um, a very nice woman. Um, you know, the thing is, like I said, I have to give credit to anybody that even can think of joining a polygamous union. It's not an easy thing to do. I mean, you're doing something that, oof, man. I mean, when it comes to polygamy, I mean, in polygamy, you're doing something that literally 99% of the world is against. So I just have to give like some real credit to these females for just being a part of something like this, or any females that are down to be a part of something like this. um so Marmar, she was second
Uh-huh.
on the list. Yeah, yeah. Great woman. We talk a lot off camera. um She's very feminine as well.
Mm-hmm.
We've actually never really been into a serious argument or anything like that. Of course, you're going to have your differences. Of course, there might be some insecurities going on that you might have to settle. But Marmar is, she's very chill. She's been along for the longest when it comes to the journey. Um, then next you have Mag Mag. You know, that whole situation. I mean, now Mag Mag, I can't say nothing really good about her, man. You know, some chicks, you know,
Is this number three?
man. Yeah, this was number 3. Yeah, this was number
Okay.
3. And Mag, you know, basically we tried to bring her on to be a part of our union. Unfortunately, Mag, she was dealing with some other things, I'm guessing, mentally, because, you know, there still needed to be some character development on her end. She was just, oh man, I mean, I put everything kind of public. Of course, I try to leave certain things off, but
Right.
you know, it came to the point where she talking about I should have just poisoned you and all this blah blah blah, and I'm
Oh,
like, God
wow.
damn, yeah, it was crazy. But then again, I do have to look at it from the perspective of, you know, polygamy. To ask women to be a part of your polygamous union when it's considered such a taboo thing, and to not just have a regular polygamous union, like maybe what people would consider regular, maybe like Muslims or something, but I'm doing it in a way that's my own way. You
Right.
know, I can see where, you know, she probably had like certain, like, you know, man, this is so hard to do. Like maybe, you know, I'm just trying to think of some reasons that would, you know, make her snap. But then again, I don't really have that many rules when it comes to polygamy. All I have is a few different things that I tell all my women at the beginning:
Mm-hmm.
communication, honesty, respect, and trust. If we can't have these 4 things, I don't want you. You know, and you shouldn't want me either, because this is how you have a healthy relationship. So, you know, of course, I have to vet these women out first. Then I do the, you know, the meetup phase where I let one of the women meet the other women. But yeah, with Mag, excuse me. Yeah, Mag, yeah, she wasn't ready to do the communication part. She wasn't good on communication.
That's
You
number.
know.
That's number one, right? Or number
No,
two?
Mag is number 3. She was the
Okay.
third one.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and she just really wasn't ready for the whole uh communication aspect of it. Everything else she did pretty much right, but when it came time to really communicate, she wasn't communicating. And I truly believe that's what made her snap. Because some women want you to just read what's on their mind, and I'm really not one of these brothers that's going like sit out here, you know, try to play these little mind games and try to well what's on your mind, baby? Well, tell me what's wrong. Tell me what's wrong. You know, of course I'm giving like, you know, a lot into it, but at the end of the day, bruh, we're adults, we're mature. You know, I'm not just picking, you know, anybody for this type of opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are going to build a legitimate African, Pan African at that legacy. And I need the right women that are mentally stable and that can do the communication, honesty, respect, and trust. I need that. If even one of those is off, I'm not afraid of losing that woman, because I know there's other women out there that can do that. So Marmar, she does a pretty good job at doing those things, to say the least. And yeah, that's what it is, you know.
So
And I'll say this one last thing too about Mag. I hope everything's going all right with her in her life. I hope she gets the mental help that she needs for her situation. Because to say that you will poison somebody at the end of a relationship, you know, is insane. You know, that just doesn't make any sense. But I hope she gets the help she needs.
oh wow. I mean, I done seen some trifling stuff in the United States, so that's a nice way of a nice way. But with any of those women, were it their first polygamy relationship?
Yes, all of them. All of
Okay.
them.
Okay. So so how should I answer this question? So is there anything unique about Tanzania as far as being able to find women that's open, or they're just the type of man you are, like you can go to any country in the world and find women that'll be open to that?
Man, you're gonna have me getting all these dislikes on me, and everybody about to hate me. I'm about to be public enemy number 1. I
Nah,
think
we
it's the type
keep it
of man
real
I
over
am, bro.
here.
I think it's the type. I think it's the type of man I am, bro. I'm not gonna lie, because to be real with you, people be thinking I'm tricking, and like I be telling people, I haven't put like not $1 into just handing it to the chick. Thanks for being around me. Like I haven't done nothing like that. Of course, you got to take care of your shorties if they're your shorties, if these are your women. But you know, I don't do the trick and stuff. But then again, I don't judge men that do, because, dude, like, man, in America, bro, it's just, dude, like, bro, I can only imagine like being like 5'8", or, you know, not having all my money together yet. Just because you 5'8", or your money's not all the way together doesn't mean you shouldn't be having no woman. So I'm not blaming dudes when they finally get out to a country and they want to trick. Hey, do what you want to do. It's your life. You only get one of them, as far as we know. So, you know, I'm just like, you know, do what you got to do. But when it comes to it, I think it's really just the type of man I am. I'm not taking the BS. I'm on a journey, you know, to build with the right women. You know, I have goals in life. You know, there's things that I'm doing. The ladies see the things that I'm doing off camera when I'm not posting. I'm working on other things, you know. So there's definitely some things in the works. I'm also very romantic too, you know, off camera, like, you know, even sometimes on camera, but off camera, I keep it cool. Like I like to be original, you know, but really, I think what women really truly like about myself, and what they, I think, like about most men, is that I don't give a F persona. Like, you know, it's just because I really just, but you truly have to really believe it too. You truly have to really be in that 100%. Because I truly just don't give a F. If somebody's not benefiting my life, they can go. You know, and I think that's what the chicks really like. Like, damn, so, you know, if this business isn't benefiting him, he's just going to go from it, which means he's going to go get us another business. You know, he's going to go invest into another business that can make us more money. You know, so I think they like that, not just with dating, but in life too. So, yeah. And yeah, I think that's really all to it, though. You know, I
So,
definitely think some dudes can get it if they tricking, though. Like, you know, you can definitely do that as well. That's a whole nother method that I ain't into.
all right. So you saying it's more on the man and not necessarily the women. So the here's the thing from what I've gathered with Tanzania, from what I've heard, is that um, it's probably one of the least westernized countries in Africa. They say the women are a little bit more respectable. You won't get a lot of, Keisha head movements. Um, this very more well mannered and respectable towards men, from what I've heard. And so a lot of guys that I know been there, they said that they appreciate that about Tanzania women, being being more submissive than what they've seen in other African countries. So, is that a true assessment as far as Tanzanian women probably being one of the most submissive, um, cultured women in Africa?
Yeah, you know, when it comes to it, Tanzanian women are very conservative. Like they do not really be out there like that. Of course, you're gonna have the scallywags in every country, but
Right.
really, Tanzanian women are very like they. What I hear from the most of them when I talk to them is that they don't want their parents to be upset at them.
Mm.
They don't want to dishonor their parents. So, to me, that's very attractive, because it's almost like, you know, how maybe the Chinese or Japanese, you know, how the Asians kind of be acting when it comes to their life. You know, they're not going to be in the clubs 24/7. They're not going to be, you know, out late at night and stuff and doing God knows what, because they want to give off a certain type of image to the world. Like they're not trying to be out here, you know, westernized. They don't want to be out here having their man regretting being with them. So yeah, they are very in their feminine, and yeah, Tanzania is where it's at if you're really looking for feminine women. But they're all over Africa, to be real. I mean, nothing that can be as bad as those things back home. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, golly. I mean, bruh, I just hate thinking about it. Like when you said you over there right now, oh my goodness, bruh. I'm like, cause I ain't been back for like a year, and I probably ain't gonna be back for a minute. I'm not gonna lie. And it's not just because of females. It's a feeling of less stress. I completely love being around my people, and I love meeting other Black people over here too. That's really cool when you can network and you can see how you guys can benefit each other and what type of businesses, you know, opportunities is out here. Because, like I tell people, this on a whole nother note. My bad. This your stream, bro. Go ahead. I was about to start talking about business, man. Okay, go ahead.
No, we could get to that. So, all right. So, as far as Tanzanian women being conservative, because Ethiopia was a very conservative country too, to the point of I won't get explicit, but most 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 women do not give a certain type of sexual act. I'll say that, and so it's that level of conservatism because historically, and I think I've heard historically, and I think I've heard different groups of African culture say this is that even things like doggy style was like frowned upon from old school African women. You know what I mean? Like sex was this missionary looked at as procreation and things of that nature. So there's different levels of conservatism I've seen or I've heard as far as Africa. So I don't know if you've been to Ethiopia or not. You know what I mean? But I was just trying to see if
Not yet.
Tanzania was on a level of Ethiopia, conservative was a level of Ethiopia or not.
No, they're definitely not all the way there. Like that. That's different to me. I never heard that one. No, you can't do me doggy style. Why not? Just it's not against our culture. Like they don't say that. Nah, they down for whatever position you put them in. But yeah. But they definitely don't be dressing out there in the booty shorts, and they definitely even if they go to the beach, it's actually surprising though. Even wear like full dress clothes or
Y'all a hot mess in the chat, man. y'all need to holler at the brother offline, man.
well, to answer that one, to keep it PG, they they going in, man. To answer those, look, I pretty much think they doing it all over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, the thing is that it's not as conservative as maybe Ethiopia. Like it sounds like they're closed off, but that also is due to like religious purposes too. Like some of these countries, like the Islamic faith and Muslim faith is even higher. Like I'll say in Tanzania it's high, but in Ethiopia it might even be way higher. So I mean, what to you is it higher or? Oh, well, you never been to Tanzania, but let me see. Did you see a lot of Muslims and Islamic people there?
In Ethiopia, it's about 60-40
Okay.
Christian to Muslim. So, but I'll say this about Ethiopia. They not as goody two shoe as you would think. You know what I mean? So they definitely are human, just like the rest of us. They are human. I'm gonna say that. So even with the conservatism, Tanzania is still popular amongst men. Um, I'm still trying to. I'm curious why. Um, so this is what I was going to ask you. So by them being conservative, does that mean that if you met a lady, she's not going to be able to stay overnight with you? That she might just have to kick it with you for a few hours and go home because she lives with her parents, and
That's a great question, bro. And you already basically answered it. Yeah, that's true. They they're conservative, but it really a lot of times comes down to because their parents is the main breadwinner. Like so, the parents is the main one that's providing for them. Like even if they go to college and all that stuff, like a lot of them still can't really leave the parents' house. I mean, they can, but they might rent out a room. It's just cheaper to live with your parents, even in America. Like if we gonna be
right.
honest, it's always just cheaper to live with the parents. But the thing is, yeah, like they're a lot of times they do have to get home at a certain time. Like I have realized that. I think if dudes really want to get themselves a Tanzanian woman over there,
Hmm.
you should look for women that if you're looking for a woman that's just free to do whatever and you want her any time of day and you want a cool chick too, um definitely online, online dating, you can definitely find some good women. And I'll say this too without going too far off topic. Even finding the women online, um it's not going to be no flakes. You know, they don't be flaking like that. They don't like to waste people's time and stuff like that,
Mm,
because you know it's very disrespectful. So
yeah.
I just kind of that's one thing I love about conservative women is that they're really like big on kind of like showing respect. You know, that's something I've realized that they be a bit more respectful than certain women that are just open and you know promiscuous. So it's nice to see.
This is a question. House of Lamar said, "Is it easy to find a virgin, an adult virgin?" Yes.
Man, this ain't heaven, House of Lamar. This ain't heaven, boy. It ain't heaven yet, man. Nah, it ain't that easy, bro. I wish. Yeah, nah. It ain't that easy, man. We men talking up in here, man. You know, it's just real. We are every dude, you know, every dude top of the line. Every dude wants a virgin, man. Let's be real, but you know, or at least a woman that doesn't have too much baggage, mental baggage, you know, from past relations. But you know, it's hard to find these virgins, man. It's hard, bro.
You think
You
so?
know.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. You
Hmm.
know, my wife was one. Um, I've met virgins in the United States, the DR, Brazil. I'm sure Ethiopia has a lot of. I don't how easy it is. I mean, I can't really say, but I think that a guy is looking for a woman that's a virgin. I think that it's more possible than one might think. Maybe not on a dating website. It would definitely probably have to be some in person, like meeting somebody at a grocery store, at a mall, or something like that. But I can't speak on Tanzania, but I don't think it's far fetched. To
Yeah, you know, not. I talk to a lot of chicks, bro. Like the thing about me is I have to vet out like so many females so I can get the right ones to be inside of what I'm doing. Because I've been doing this polygamous journey for a couple years now,
right.
and you know I have to talk to so many chicks. But like when I look at the ratios of it all, like I mean, I'll see like maybe one virgin out of like 100, or maybe like two out of 100, but they be kind of young, like 18, 19ish. Like, it's kind of it's very rare. Like, but out of 1,000, maybe like you'll find like 8, 9 virgins or something like that. A lot of these chicks really ain't even virgins, even if they say they is. But yeah, now I feel you though. Like it's not that hard to find them, but it kind of is too at the same time. And we do have to remember the thing about Tanzania is and this doesn't go for all the females, but mainly once you get into the city, it don't really matter what age the woman is, 18, 19 and up. I mean, it doesn't matter. She's most likely not a virgin. These women have to, unfortunately, a lot of them have to do certain things so they can make some money to keep up with the times, and to afford certain things that they want in life. So a lot of them be having sugar daddies and other things like that. Just like how a lot of black people's going to Africa, especially Tanzania right now. A lot of white people's coming out too, and they're definitely trying to get their fair share of these nice, voluptuous, beautiful, in-shape, non-pig looking, non-whale looking. My bad. I almost start going in. The trauma start coming back. Nah, but I'm saying they definitely trying to get their fair share, of the good in shape feminine women. So, yeah, you might find some, but if you really want to find like a virgin chick, go to the village. Go to the village and don't just go just to smash on a woman. I suggest going to actually get to know the culture. You might actually be into it somehow, and it is like really relieving too because you realize all this like baggage that you might have carried and all this trauma that you've carried like from the States or maybe someplace in Europe, and you can go to these open villages that are just like with so many humble people. Now of
Mm,
course you're gonna need to take somebody, a homie that can translate for you. I know a few people that come out with me when I try to travel to different places, but yeah, it really is a nice relief when you can talk to the village people and you communicate with them and they'll give you one of their women. I've heard there's a story from some dude, he a YouTuber. I ain't gonna throw him out there, but he done told me what he did in the villages. He done went into the village trying to find him one. So it's cool. You know, it's definitely cool, the whole virgin part, but you know, to get to know the culture is also cool too. You know, so
Facts. Lamar said, "I want a woman for marriage, not just smash."
there we go.
I feel you. So, with meeting women online, and I know that the internet is not the best. Is it hard meeting women online, like waiting for them to respond, or you have to wait for them to have a good signal or internet, or how is that if a guy wanted to like meet a woman off online or a data site like?
It's super easy. You know, these chicks be knowing if you're not from their country. Like, I mean, if you show your face on one of these pictures, I don't care how tall you are, I don't care what your zodiac is, man. These chicks can tell that you're not from Africa. You know, they can tell that you Black American or Black European. They talk to so many dudes, and I mean, it's so simple. Like once they see your face, they already know what the deal is. So, you know, it's super easy, man. Like I mean, it's super
No, I
easy.
mean, do they have good internet? I'm saying like, because like for example, I had a friend went to Cuba, right, and
Mhm.
he really couldn't pipeline because the internet is bad in Cuba. So like, you know, a woman may respond a week later,
Mm.
or you trying to communicate and she don't have data or internet. So I was just curious if how good is like the internet, or if
The internet speeds.
they got access to internet and data on their phone.
Yeah, they definitely got access to all that. One thing that I noticed that they do in Tanzania is that um, they kind of buy for the day. Like they sell these bundles that are only for like the day and all that. So, you know, if you want to get maybe most of them, you know, because to keep affording so many gigabytes, you know, it can be expensive. Like for us Americans, you know, it's not too much. Still might be a little costly for some people, but it's maybe $40 to $50 if you're trying to get maybe 30 gigabytes for the month on your phone. Now a lot of people don't got money like that in Tanzania to just be spending like, you know, for the data. So
Right.
what they have to do is they buy maybe 100 megabytes, and that will last them the day. So you'll notice she might be responding to your messages a bit late, but it's
Mm.
because she keeps turning her data off so she can save, you know,
Oh
that
wow.
data. You know, so that's one thing that I realized. But she definitely isn't trying to flake on you. She definitely isn't trying to ignore you. You know, um, it's just that's how they do it with the data. But the data is fast. The Wi-Fi speeds are very fast. Um, I suggest when you go to Tanzania, go to Safaricom. And I kind of hesitated to say that because I think it's a white-owned company, and I'm like, God damn, man, I'm support throwing out all these white-owned companies. When we gonna make our own, telephone, wireless line and all that? You know, I want to shout out a black-owned brand in Tanzania, but yeah, they have one called Vodacom. Excuse me, it's called
Okay.
Vodacom in Tanzania. Safaricom is in Kenya, but you know, Vodacom is where it's at. I think they're working on getting 5G right now, but the 4G and 3G will do you just fine. Actually, 3G over there is actually pretty fast too because a lot of people still have older phones. So the 3G actually works pretty quick, regardless, even if, you know, 3G is so obsolete in Western countries. It definitely is still going on in these foreign countries. So that's
Okay.
how the Wi Fi is.
Would you recommend a guy if he likes a woman to like send her money for data so he can communicate with her?
Oh, damn, that's a good question. I could tell you travel to all these countries because you know all of their culture styles, man. Golly. That's a good ass question. Let me see. Damn, should you send her data? Well, no, you shouldn't just send any woman data. But if she done came through and you already got your got your
I'm saying
got your knickknack, you know,
even
if
before you even visit the country, you just trying to like pipeline. You know,
oh, are you saying like they're texting the woman from outside the country?
yeah. Like I'm visiting this country soon or in a couple months, and they trying to fill her out, but she not really, she don't have the data to like have conversations or even video
Nah,
chat.
nah,
So
F that. You don't give her shit. Nah, nah, nah. She'll find a way. She'll find a way. I don't care if she got to steal from her sugar dad to make sure she can message you, or she got to take some extra money from her mom purse. She'll find a way to send that message. I guarantee you. Yeah. Don't be sending these chicks no money. Don't be doing none of that unless you already done actually hit. I'm just gonna be real. You know, unless you actually already got what you wanted. Maybe you just wanted her not even to smash, but you wanted her to, you know, for whatever else dudes be one of these females for nowadays, and she did what she met your requirements, then you can send her money once you've met her though. Don't just be sending these chicks money and stuff like that. But it is tradition once you get to the country and you've been with the chick a couple times, it is tradition for you to, you know, give a little bit. You know, that's a big thing a lot of you brothers is gonna see when you guys come to East Africa.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So guys shouldn't have an issue communicating if they meet someone online. Uh, there is a bit of conservatism the guys can expect. Now, guys that because the stream is about polygamy, so guys that because guys will look at you and say, okay, you know, he's in Tanzania, he's been able to practice this. You know, can I do it too? I did a couple of streams on polygamy. I did one on South Africa, and just in general, Zulu in South Africa is still widely practiced. A lot of African countries have kind of phased it out and limited to just certain tribes, what they call customary. And so there are Muslim brothers that can obviously practice that within their religion, and then there are guys that want to get married and have a polygamy through a civil marriage. But then there's guys that want to have this polygamy and not get legally married either. So the way you're doing it is not, your intentions is not to have any basically a piece of paper saying I'm married to, you know, these multiple women.
Yeah, you know, eventually I wouldn't mind actually like doing something like that, depending on the governmental laws and the rules of the country that I'm in. I wouldn't mind doing that. I mean, it's not like these countries are, you know, like Western countries that say, "Oh, you're gonna give your money up to this chick once you know once she gets bored of you." So I wouldn't even really mind like that. You know, but yeah, if dudes is trying to do this whole polygamous lifestyle, you definitely want to learn about the legalities first because I definitely looked into the legal aspects of this stuff. And like I say, I'm on a polygamous journey. You know, like I'm on a journey to be polygamous. You know, even though I have these women around me and they're around me for months on end and all that, it's not like we're exactly married. You know, I'm trying to push, you know, for us to go further and for us to, you know, get somewhere with it, but um technically right now it's not on paper what we have and what we're doing, so what we're doing. So it's like you definitely want to look into the legalities. Don't go around walking to people saying I'm polygamous and some Muslim dude hear you say that and he's like, are you Muslim? And then they, oh, I'm not Muslim. And he's like, what? So what are you? I'm just a regular guy. I'm polygamous. I'm smashing all these chicks and doing all. Nah, that sounds crazy. And he might even take you to the law. Who knows? He might have some other. Nah. You got to know what you're doing in these countries. Know the legal law in every country that you guys are trying to visit. Trust me, it will help you guys out so much.
So have you tried having polygamous relationships in other African countries or just Tanzania?
Yeah, actually, I done did a whole like you know because before I had this channel set up, you know there was some previous stuff before. That's how I think everybody knew about me at first from 2020. But I had a whole polygamous journey when I was when I first went to Kenya, when I first went to Uganda. Um,
So
and yeah,
give us the tea, man. So what was it uh, trying to pursue it in Kenya and other countries? Like, what was the results, and like which one you found more women that was kind of more down with that?
dang, you know what? I feel like in each country it was equal. Like that's a great question. Like each country it seems pretty equal. Like all the ladies. in every country that I've been to, except America, um, all the ladies, they were so new to polygamy, but how they reacted to it was so natural. I mean, as long as you're taking care of the woman, as long as you're being respectful to her, having one-on-one time with her, away from the other woman. Sometimes you give them a pretty nice life. Most of them are just really chilling. Like I think a lot of women would be open to polygamy. So I would say it's all equal all the way around. Like um, when I first did it in Kenya, that was after I went to the Bomas. So
Mhm.
I had this woman, and I told her, I said, um,
Oh,
I learned about polygamy, and I truly believe this is the lifestyle and journey I want to go on. Um, you know, she said, like, why do you feel this way? I said, just because I believe truly if we're trying to, because I look at this as more than just smashing. Like, I look at this, if we're trying to really win in life, it's going to start taking certain women, I'll just say the majority of women, have to kind of latch on to one man, like, and it's going to have to be a couple of them because what's going on right now in the world is there's too many dudes that are completely failing that are getting women pregnant, but then you have dudes that are on the come up and dudes that are winning it already in life, and they're basically not getting any women. They
right,
might be
right.
getting women, but not as much as, maybe a gang banging, dude that is just declining and he doesn't care about his life, and or some bum on the street. Like these dudes, I feel like have the most kids out of everybody. And that, especially for the black community, that only makes our offspring and our legacy go downwards.
Right,
I'm
right,
looking
right.
at it like, the way that we can increase is, you have a man and you have feminine women. They manage your business when you're not inside of certain countries. They're trustworthy. They all have goal mindset. One of the ladies, they can become like somebody that can learn history. One of my women will definitely learn our history so they can teach my child or our children um, the real truth of where they come from, that you didn't just start as a slave, etc. That stuff is very important. So, anyways, I told all this to the Kenyan woman, and I told her how important it was for me to, really just be honest with her. And I told her specifically, I told her, I do not want to cheat on you. I've never been a cheater. I've never been a liar. So I told her that. She said, you know what? I appreciate the honesty, and I'm completely on to your goal, and I don't want to lose you, and I want to be on to that same path. So then we went ahead and added another woman, and then there was another woman, and then yeah, it just went up from there. Unfortunately, I had to go back to America, had to get some business done, and it's so hard to do that long distance thing. you know um, then after that, uh, what was after that? I think it was Uganda.
Let me actually let me.
Uganda,
Oh, okay, he okay. He said he answered your question. Okay, no, you good. You
yeah,
good.
yeah, and Uganda. Uganda was kind of quick. I'll say that one was pretty quick. I had some ladies I was talking to. I try to kind of merge them together, but that was a fast situation. Even though I did have some other Ugandan women that I talked to for months off camera, and actually that was a great experience because these women were damn near perfect. I mean, Ugandan women actually traditionally they bow down to their men. So
Mm.
that was just an added bonus, and it's not about being an evil dictator too. Just because the women were bowing down to me, it didn't make me feel like more of a like, oh man, you're really a god, blah blah blah. It is just like that thing that just shows you like I'm so far away from these feminist fools. I'm so far away from these toxic feminists, and I just like that. I just like they just did everything right.
So when you say
They
bowing, like is this just like a greeting, like a handshake type?
yeah. Like when they let
What
me
up,
see,
Bert?
like how will I say this? Like okay, when one of the ladies she would come into the room and she would give me my plate of food, she would bow when she's giving it to me.
Mm.
And I never asked her to do that, but I said why, like because I hear that that's normal here, blah blah blah, and she says, you know um it's tradition. And I said, okay, well damn, like I'm not gonna fight it, but I just said wow, like sometimes when she greet me, like that was mainly the other chick, she did the bow down more when she greet me and stuff like that, but I thought that was so attractive and so feminine because it only, you know, us dudes, man, we're not asking these Western women for that much, but their toxic mindsets just makes them so mentally disabled that they can't even do the bare minimum. So when you see women that are doing above minimum, you
Right,
know,
right.
it's a really nice feeling. So that was Uganda. Then next thing I know is the Tanzania journey that I'm on right now, and that's what it is. So
So
yeah.
when you leave, let's say because you're in Kenya right now,
Mhm.
how does that affect your situation in Tanzania? You being away, because women like attention. You know, they get curious, jealous.
Uh, well, you know what? You know, now I've came to the point where it's like, okay, if I did leave again, I would definitely need to be taking care of my ladies, constantly, like giving them more support. My life is kind of set up to now where I can do that a bit more from before, because I was so busy doing certain things that I didn't have no time to check in on the women when I was back in America. But if I did need to go back, I probably wouldn't go back for that long, and I definitely would be able to support my women while I'm gone as well. And it's important too that you're not getting females that are uh, so, how do I say this, materialistic,
Right.
because you want a woman that's going to be there when you come home. You know what I'm saying? I think you said your woman's in Colombia, right?
Yeah.
Or yeah, yeah. So, you know, and I'm sure you vet her out already, so you already know, like, you know, when you get back, she'll be there. You probably send her because it's your wife, though.
Yeah. My wife. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, you already got all that down packed. So that's the same way I'm trying to, you know, have it handled. You know, just kind of, you know, hit them up, check on them, send them out some money, you know, make sure everything's good. But you also want to make sure you're not getting a materialistic woman, because those women will definitely ruin your life. And it's not hard to spot a materialistic chick too. That's very easy to see them a mile away. They're very greedy. You know, they usually walk around with the fake Louis Vuitton and fake Gucci, you know, so they can fool you into thinking that they're, you know, they rich and they
Right.
only deal with rich dudes. So, you know,
Exactly.
yeah, I
That's the game.
definitely, yeah, I definitely, you know, will be able to keep them in close quarters even while being far overseas.
Yeah. That's the game, fellas. Even in the United States, man. My cuz taught me this a long time ago, man. Because you pull women the same way. You show on Instagram, social media that you well taken care of, that you only eat at nice restaurants, that you only wear nice clothes. So then the person that is interested into you, you're signaling to them that if you know what I mean, that you have to support this type of lifestyle. And so a lot of women don't have shit, but they're gonna present themselves in a certain way to make you think that, you know what I mean, oh, she rocking this or she driving this, you know what I mean, I gotta come with that. And you know what I mean, if you got game, if you know the game, you know what I mean, you let them know in a way that you see all past that. So while we talking about game, because you said a lot of things about polygamy is not necessarily about the country, it's about you. So give us the game, man, on what you on, because a lot of guys don't know. They may be interested in polygamy, and let's say they realize when it's too late in a relationship that they want that, and so the girl that they with not down with it. So what how should they approach, or give us like an intro line, what you would say to a woman, you meet her out in public or online, and you know, basically to fill her out, and and to get her, you know, interested in what you are trying to do. Like, give us like some game on that.
Yeah, so some quick game on polygamy. You know, usually I don't just go up to a chick with no pickup line or nothing. Like, I'm looking for hand selected women that actually have the qualities that I need. So, you know, it's never like really just quick and I'm just trying to grab them and throw them into the mix. I will say though, for men that are trying to be polygamous, first thing is, don't just go into this just trying to have threesomes. You know, I
Right,
was
right.
trying to figure out a way to say it that certain networks and certain platforms don't get offended, but you know, the threesome thing, you know, just don't. don't get into it going into that, man. You know, if you want to just have, you know, that, go ahead and get some ladies, maybe even pay them. Do what you got to do to be in that lifestyle, because that's that lifestyle. Polygamy to me is um what our ancestors did. This was a culture. You know, it's in our culture, it's in our blood in some ways. And I look at it like as a way that we can actually build healthy families and rebuild the families that have already been damn near knocked off, you know. So I look at it in a way that we can actually legacy build with this. So that's the first thing. Don't go into it just trying to, you know, hookups and stuff like that. Don't do that. You know, if you want hookups, make it very clear with the woman, you know, I want to get into hookups. If you want polygamy because you're on a different journey in life, then go ahead and do that one. Second thing I'll say is, when it comes to polygamy, if you're looking to get into a union like this, do not cheat on your woman and then bring that woman in that you cheated on her with to be into your polygamous union. You know, that is not a good way to start off polygamy. Polygamy starts off with truth. Actually, that's one of my 4 pillars that I tell all the ladies that if they're going to be with me, these are things that they would need to do: communication, honesty, trust, and respect. You know, if you've already started off, you know, unhonest, you know, that's not going to work out, and it could actually end up very violently. You know, I've seen a lot of situations. I had a lot of people reach out and talk to me about their polygamous union, and you know, the guy tried to bring in a woman that he cheated on his girlfriend with, but the girlfriend didn't want to lose the guy, so she said okay, and then the girl ended up slashing one of the girls. Hey man, you know, don't go into it like that. Don't do it. Don't do it, fellas. I'm telling you. If you want to just do the 3-way thing, then I'm telling you, it's clear to establish that from the start with your woman. You know, hey, I just want to do the threesome hookup type thing. Sometimes we bring another woman into the mix. Just do it like that. Don't be lying out here. Remember, we're men, so we got to move a little bit differently, you know, than these lying at females, you know, be doing sometimes. So, anyways, so that's the second thing. And then third thing with it, you know, go into this with a plan. Like, don't just go into polygamy just trying to, like, you know, just go into it. You know, go into it with a plan. Like, it's truly for people with legacy. So I guess I'm just, you know, rebounding on what I said from number 1. You know, you need to actually be planning to build something. Remember, polygamy is not for the average man. It's for kings.
Right,
you know,
right,
it's for the top men. Not every man is able to be in a polygamous relationship. So if you want to be in a polygamous relationship yourself, you need to bring something king worthy to the table for your queens. Not only financial stability, but you also need to bring a certain type of respect that you have for yourself and for others, you know. And you also need to have a legacy in mind for planning, you know, not just for yourself, but for your kids and their kids and their kids. You know, women, they want to be able to flex on the other women. Remember, if you try to get into polygamy, everybody on the planet is going to tell you what you're doing is wrong. Everybody on the planet is going to say you tricking. Everybody on the planet is going to say these ladies are paid actors. These ladies are, you know, they're just trying to use you. These ladies, they don't really, all this stuff.
Right.
These ladies are insecure. They don't have any, they're not confident. You
They're
know,
stupid.
really, they're just the most realistic because they understand that this is truly how real queens have lived through all the time. See, most of these ladies, they watch these Disney movies, so they think that it's always been monogamous relationships, but hell no. Hell no. We've been doing polygamy for a long time in Africa.
I would make
so,
let me ask you this real quick. I would make the yes, please like, share, and subscribe, man. Support the channel, man. Appreciate the love out here. I would go as far as to say that a man is less likely to cheat in a polygamy relationship than a monogamous relationship.
That's very true. Yeah, indeed.
So like you said, like the women that accept polygamy, they're the realists. They understand the nature of men, which proves is that if you're in a 3-way relationship and you're not cheating with no outside woman, you're loyal to both of them. I would argue that that's better than a man being in a monogamous relationship that's going to cheat. You know, and so I can definitely see the real. I can definitely see what you're saying as far as them being realists when it comes to that.
Yeah, and I know there's probably not any women watching, but women really should take into consideration that majority of females on this planet are not that special. You know, when it comes to what a man brings to the table, you know, a true man, most men know that to bring to the table, you need to bring finances and some sort of status, and maybe, you know, your looks in some ways, whether you dress nice or, you know, you're very fit, things of that nature. Um, Women, on the other hand, what a lot of women, when I ask them, what do you bring to the table? They'll always say, myself. I'm you. You get me. I'm the prize, you know, because you get me. And while in some ways you are of value, you are a human being deserving of, you know.
Oh man, I lost connection. I'll wait for that brother to get back. I'll wait for that brother to get back. Um, but yeah, so I want to get more. I'm going to get once he comes back. I'm going to get some comparisons because he's been to a lot of East African countries, and I know a lot of guys. At least the traveling brothers, they data might have ran out. A lot of guys are interested in Eastern Africa, and it's kind of ironic. So I recently did like I did an ancestry DNA, and I did 23andMe. And if you ever do one of those DNA tests, let me blow myself up. If you ever do one of those DNA tests, it'll give you it'll give like a map of the world, and it'll show you kind of like where your ancestral traits go to. And most, especially from the United States, most Black Americans are Nigerian, pretty much West Africa. So you got Nigeria, I would say the highest percentage of most Black Americans, and then it stretches out to like other parts of West Africa, from like Ghana, Sierra Leone, and then the Congo area. But if you look at the map, I wish I had a picture right now, but if you look at the map of our DNA, it's pretty much, if you cut Africa in half, most of our ancestors came from the western part. If you cut Africa in half. And when it comes, I notice when it comes to traveling, a lot of the passport bros, we travel to places that's different from the women that we're dating. So whether it's Latin America, and then even in Africa, we are in numbers, we are not interested in West Africa, which is our lineage. So I just found that a unique observation, that a lot of brothers, even in Africa, we're going from what's different from us, even in Africa. So,
Man, my bad, bro. I told you this Wi-Fi, bro. Oh man, golly. So I done switched over to my Android. I'm using that as a personal hotspot right now because I need to get an actual hotspot, personal hotspot one. But yeah, I got like I should have enough for like maybe 10, 15 minutes. That's cool.
No, yeah. That's cool. So we'll kind of do the last segment. Let me read some of these comments real quick. Tim said most of my DNA is West Africa, especially Nigeria.
My Nigerian brother.
I'm like 35% Nigerian. That was my highest. Most athletic Africans are from West Africa. He said, but they are corrupted. LOM says I have some Malagasy DNA. Interesting. So, I was just going in on the passport bros preference for the eastern and southern part of Africa, which is not connected to us ancestrally, and so we not, don't take this verbatim, but psychologically we dislike our own, we dislike there's a strong dislike for women of our ethnic background, meaning West African, So South Africa is not part of our lineages, and East Africa is not. So since you've been to a lot of East African countries, everybody has their different takes. So I want to get your take on the African countries as far as the level of attractiveness to you. I'm always
Okay.
curious about if people can you hear me.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm always curious on how people look phenotype. So like Ethiopia has a look. I could spot an Ethiopian now. South Africa has a look. Do these countries like Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, do they have a certain look? So just kind of give us so kind of answer if they have a certain like look, and then also where do you find the women that you're more attracted to out of those countries?
Oh, damn. Well, you know what? I'm gonna start off by saying this. Tanzania got ranked as the place with the highest amounts of women with the biggest nyash, which means the biggest buttocks. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to throw that out there for the first, just to let y'all dudes know if that's y'all, if y'all looking for the ones with the nice big rumps in the back and all that stuff, Tanzania got ranked as number one.
No, South Africa is they're gonna have a gripe with that one.
Yeah, not number one, but they got ranked at least, I believe, number 4, and I think Kenya was number 5 or something like that. So Tanzania is pretty high up there. No, I will say this though: all African women are very beautiful. Now sometimes personality, because they're watching a lot of Western movies and stuff like that, it can be kind of off. But all African women are beautiful. I can count on maybe one hand from all the years I've been in Africa, all the obese women I've seen in person. Not the ones I've seen on the movies and shows that are in Africa, movies and shows, but I'm saying in person, I haven't seen that many overweight females like that. Obese women, I haven't seen that. Majority of the women here in all of Africa have been very, very attractive. So I will say that just to start with. Kenya, I do like Kenyan women because they speak very good English. It's actually like, I believe truly that Kenyan women are probably at the top of my list when it comes to East Africa. No, oh shoot, I messed up. Ugandan women are pretty much at the top. Somebody says, I thought it was Uganda. I just see right before you, I caught him right before he said it. But Ugandan women is definitely, when it comes to their feminine cues, they definitely got that down packed. It's something about just, the feminine cues of a woman, man. Like, I'm not even attracted to the looks anymore. It's just the way the woman acts. Like, it's just, I'll take anything that's not aggressive and trying to compete with me as a man and trying to fight me as a man, so, just seeing all these feminine females in all these countries, but especially Uganda probably takes the cake, having the most women that are, dark skinned, beautiful, and feminine. I'll say their femininity is at the top. When it comes to looks, it's like a tie to me between Tanzania and Kenya. There's beautiful women in both, and then Rwanda has beautiful women there too. I was a bit let down when I went to Rwanda, especially Kigali, because some reason before I went, I was getting all these Instagram posts on my Explore page showing me all these thick, light skin and dark skin Rwandan women with a little slightly big forehead. And they were all putting hashtag Kigali, Rwanda, all this stuff. So I was getting like real hyped on going. But once I went there, I was like, damn, these chicks ain't even really looking like the picture. So I was a bit let down. But then again, the femininity always takes the cake. They're so feminine in these countries, guys. It's man, You know, it's like, bruh, I just don't even know why y'all watching this from America. Whoever, you know, besides you, host, I'm saying the rest. I'm like, if y'all ain't got a passport, because the host here been 10 countries, 20 something like that. Man, I'm saying for a lot of the brothers here, man, if you ain't got your passport yet, I don't know what you're doing, man. They just too feminine and too beautiful in these countries to be passing up on, and they ready for y'all too, especially a black dude. They ready for y'all, because before we started coming to Africa, all these women had over here was these old wrinkly white dudes. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they be happy when they can walk next to you instead of one of these dudes. So I'm just
Exactly. Yeah.
you know, that's something that's real out here. And there was another question you asked too. Um, you said the best looking women in all the countries, and it was something else, I believe.
I said, yeah, the level of, which countries you find women the most attractive, and then do they have distinct, do these countries have distinct looks about
Distinct looks. Yeah. No, no, none of them really have a distinct look, actually. None of them. Ethiopia and Somalia did a good job doing a copy and paste. I mean, if Ethiopia and Somalia was a homework assignment, they would get plagiarism. They all looking, you know, copy and pasted, man. That distinct forehead, sometimes even the nose bridge and, you know, the cheekbone features over there. I'm telling you guys, is man, you know, is
as far as Kenya, let's say, could you could you be in the United States and see an African woman and say she's Kenyan or she's Tanzanian or Ugandan or Rwandan? Do they have distinct looks like that, or do they kind of overlap?
Nah, I couldn't. I'm not gonna lie, I could not point them out. Kenyan women, I have been able to point them out. And I don't know what it is about certain Kenyan females that I'm able to look at them and say, "You're Kenyan." You know, Kenyans are very dark-skinned people. Um, Not all of them, but some of them. And when I'm in America, I have pointed out two Kenyans before, and I just looking at them, I don't know what it was, but it's something about, I don't know, the glow of the dark skin. I don't know. But somehow I got maybe lucky guess twice, but you know, it's something about them, like, you know. But it is no, for the most part, no. It's not easy to point them out and just handpick like the Somalians and Ethiopians. It's not easy.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So,
Have you seen any other countries that have that though? Like that distinct, like let's take Colombia or you know, the other countries you've been to around there. Uh is there any distinct, you know, thing that you can see and pinpoint it? You know,
it,
because I know you've also been to Mexico too, so I'm just curious, like is,
it takes time. Like when I've been to Colombia, and I got a lot of Venezuelans there. At first, I mean, you can't really tell the difference between these Latin women, right? But now I could definitively know. Okay, she or he's Venezuelan, she's Colombian, Dominican, or even Brazilian. Like I got it down to a T. Now it just takes time. So I mean, I'm sure if I spent enough time in certain African countries, I'll be able to kind of know. But South Africans, I could definitely point out. Obviously, Ethiopians, you could easily point out as well.
what can you tell about the South Africans? How can you point them out?
So South Africans, they're shorter in stature. They're very curvy in the hips and butt. You can see it in their face. They have certain, how Nelson Mandela, for example, they got real. Not all of them, but you can tell in their eyes, the way they wear their hair. So it's just a lot of characteristics how I could point out South African women.
Because that kind of sound like all the African women though, curvy and like, you know, kind of having like that little above the nose bridge, kind of like that indent there, right?
Yeah, but some have more of like under their eyes is more indented, so it's like a shadow. So it's just certain things, man. I mean, it's just certain things about South African. Really, that whole Southern African region, they kind of look alike, like Botswana, Zimbabwe. They all come from that Bantu
Right, the Bantu tribe and all that.
The Bantu tribe. So I mean, it's still debatable on who's the most voluptuous out of Tanzania, Uganda.
Yeah, definitely. Which one would you say is the most attractive out of all the countries you've been to?
I'm gonna be honest, man, and I got a lot of pushback from this, man, and
That means he said something in South America.
No, after I went to South Africa for the second time, man, I interviewed on a couple of channels, and I said, South Africa is. I said they had more attractive women than Brazil, and guys was like, Brazil? Are you kidding me? Because a lot of things like you had alluded to earlier, you talked about how a lot of times guys don't really see the receipts on beautiful women in Africa, and a lot of times some girls, they don't take pictures like that. They're not as photogenic. But just because you don't see the receipts don't mean that they out there. You know what I mean? They got them. But yeah, South Africa, I got a homie right there right now. He lived in Kenya for a couple months, and now he's in South Africa. He was like, bro, South Africa, they're killing Kenya. I went to Ethiopia and South Africa on the same trip, and I thought Ethiopia had the most beautiful women in the world. And South Africa was just the checkmark list. When I went to South Africa, I said South Africa killing Ethiopia.
And obesity and all that, like what? Like
face, body. South Africa is, in my opinion, they have I find South African the most attractive women in Africa out of everything I've seen and experienced in Africa, including Latin American countries. Now, I think Colombia and South Africa as a country, I think it's about a tie. If I had to rank countries on what I find the most attractive women, Colombia and South Africa to me has the highest percentage of attractive women. Brazil has a lot of attractive women, but I would say Brazil is like, this is how I rank them real quick. The United States, I say 4 out of 10 women I find attractive. Dominican Republic, I say 5 out of 10 I find attractive. Brazil, I say 6 out of 10 I find attractive. Colombia, I say 7 out of 10 I find attractive. I would say 7 out of 10 for South Africa as well. Those are my opinions,
Okay. It's not a bad list. So I hope all the fellas putting South Africa on their list right now, because you definitely sold us to South Africa right now.
If you like polygamy, you need to be going to Durban.
I feel like, yeah.
You need to put Durban on. You will trust me. You need to try that out, man. I challenge you to put Durban, because that's Zulu Nation. Polygamy is polygamy is the most practiced in that part of South Africa. I would challenge you to go to South Africa, man. Durban.
I'm avoiding going to places that have westernized women though, because I know South African women are a bit westernized. Because I've heard a lot of stories out there, like, and it's not sounding too good when it comes to that feministic, kind of lifestyle.
Trust me though. When I say, this is what I tell brothers, because I know when I say South Africa, I'm not saying Johannesburg, I'm not saying Cape Town, I'm saying Durban. Yes, if you go to Johannesburg and Cape Town, you're going to see a lot of Western ways, and you're going to see some things that turn it off. I'm saying just this specific city in South Africa, go to Durban. It's on the Indian Ocean side of the country. Nice weather, very curvy, beautiful women. Polygamy is culturally a norm. I think you would definitely like it, man.
I might have to try it out. That's definitely one place that I've decided that I might go sometime in life, South Africa. But yeah, I'm just I'm happy with the ones I got around me right now. That's really where it's at. South Africa, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Maybe when I'm looking for the third, then I might go over there. I don't know. I heard too many crazy stories. They sound too much like American women, but definitely a place on my list.
Go on one of the dating websites just to play around. Just put your location in Durban. Just
Yeah. Use that Tinder passport, huh? Use the
just to flirt with.
Tinder passport thing and go on there, change the location, put in Durban real quick. And then I might be calling you tomorrow talking about, bro, this is the best I ever. Nah, let me stop playing. But I'm definitely across South Africa though.
So I got three days when I go to Africa, man. I'm still decided if I'm going to do Tanzania, Rwanda, Kenya, or Uganda. I'm also thinking about Mozambique. Which one? If I only got 3 days, which one should I choose?
3 days with how much money? Like
money's
around
not,
how much?
Money's not a problem.
Money's not I say that I say Tanzania, Dar es Salaam for 2 days and Zanzibar for the Dar es Salaam for 1 day and Zanzibar. You can do half and half. You know what I'm saying? Basically.
Okay.
They're right next to each other, and the boat ride is super affordable. It's like $10, $20 for business class is like $30. Very cheap. No, business class is about like 45 maybe bucks, but still, to go on a nice ferry to get you there only takes an hour and a half. You can spend some good time on the beach, taking the island vibes. And it definitely feels. You definitely do get those island vibes. You'll stay at the best places. If money's no option, nothing, then you can stay in the best hotels, best apartments. They have great Airbnbs over there, and Dar es Salaam has great places too. You'll stay in maybe the Bagamoyo Road area, or maybe the what's that road called? Masaki area. You'll find some very nice places over there too. So Tanzania is where it's at. The only reason I said that one is because you get an island and you get the city life,
Okay, so I get more. Yeah, that makes sense. I get more than going to Kenya because they don't have beach. Well, they got Mombasa in Kenya too.
Yeah, but and if you taking a flight to Mombasa, it might only take like about an hour. But if you take the train, it might take like I think about even 6 hours. So I'm just looking at it like if you're trying to get, 3 days and you only got so much time and all that,
Right.
The ferry will take you straight to Zanzibar, straight back, whenever you want to. I think the train from Mombasa only goes like about 3 different times a day. That one's affordable too, but it's still if you only got 3 days, you're trying to get up all your time. So yeah, Tanzania is where it's at.
Okay, makes sense, man. Well, cool, man. I'm not gonna keep you too long, man. Anything you want to say, man, before we close, man? I'm gonna post your link one more time in the chat.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate everybody for being in the chat today. I barely do these live streams and all that, but I appreciate you for having me on. I appreciate the subscribers of your channel for having me on, and this was a great discussion. Definitely should do another one sometime soon.
All right, cool, man. Check out Research Durban, man, and I'm gonna catch you when I'm in Africa, man. So if I go to Tanzania, man, we're gonna definitely collab there too.
For sure, yeah, and they might even see me with Austin in a few days because we was chatting up a little bit, so they might even see us doing some videos. So maybe even we can show y'all like some of the city life or something like that. I think that would be some good video content to give you guys. So if y'all trying to check that out, make sure to come over to the channel.
Yes, sir. Yeah, tell Austin I said what up, man. I had him on the channel a couple of times, man. So hopefully I can catch him. I want to catch O'Shea too in Africa if I can. So
yeah, when you come out here, just let me know, bro. Like I'll be out here. So yep.
All right, for sure. Peace out.
All right, man. Holla.
Yeah. Got the flight book, it's a library. I'm in that deal. Just took a flight to Bora and foreign cars like foreigners. Berry on her. Up in France, bitch, poncho. I been come to go so we going Paris tomorrow. Only Paris we carry, spin at the mall. We doing the same alone. My diamonds be saying, add some more change. That's the same alone. Dripping all the way from home and taking the wrong. Got the flight book, it's a library. We ain't flying solo. Tune in to the show. It's the Passport Bros. No excuse entertainment. Jay Slay on the show. Turn it up some more. It's the Passport Bros.